Yo, what's going on, guys? Episode 24 of the Jerks podcast. My name is Mark Carsky. I got my co-host Dylan Mahler and Danny Hamel. We currently have Dana Nora as a guest. Norris,
Norris, like
Norris,
like Chuck.
Dana Norris. Right as I was saying it, my confidence went away when I got to after the R part. Dana Norris, guys, fucking great. So happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. It's a dream come true.
When I think of Dana Norris, I instantly think of guitar. What do you guys?
Guitar, yeah.
Yeah?
Shiny black guitar.
What do you think of? I think guitar or curly hair, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think music.
Music, yeah.
And it hasn't made me angry when you do the music. Usually I get pissed off, you know?
I've gotten that from a lot of people. They're like, yeah, usually we hate music. But, I mean, with you, it's kind of okay.
So much.
Also, you have that one picture of you doing like a high kick on your profile.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to not think about that when I think of you.
That picture's gotten more traction than anything else I've ever done.
You doing a high kick during a set?
No, I was in a musical and I was dancing. Which makes,
yeah, you do that type of stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I think I should stop doing comedy and just exclusively do like split pictures, and I'd blow up faster that way. Yeah.
So you do you do theater like more than you do stand up, or like do you do an equal amount? Or are you doing theater anymore, or like?
It goes in waves. So there'll be months where it's like just theater stuff for months on end. If we're like in the middle of shooting stuff, or if I'm in a rehearsal process, and then there'll be months where I'm just doing stand up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it you've been doing theater longer than stand-up?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing theater?
I started doing theater when I was like 8.
Holy shit. I remember when I was in like, what grade is that? Like 5th grade?
Second.
That's 3rd grade, yeah.
Oh, wow, I knew that. When it comes to kids, dude, I'm not good at ages. I shouldn't be. You shouldn't be good with ages when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
I remember I got up on stage because like they were like, "Who wants to volunteer to come up here?" And for some reason, I rose my hand. They picked me. I had one line, and it was, "You did it," and I couldn't say it in front of the whole school. I asked some kid how I did. He's like, "It was terrible." Wow. So that's why I'm here. But so I take it didn't go like that from 8th grade or from 8 years old. Like, did you? Like when you're 8 years old, do you have like what kind of fright do you have? Do you have like the same amount of stage fright an adult would have? Because you don't have the concept of embarrassment just like we do. You know, we don't have the.
I didn't know to be scared.
See, yeah, okay.
It wasn't until I got older and I had a concept of shame.
We should put kids in the army. We should draft kids. They have no fear.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
the amount of confidence I had when I was a kid.
I was just about to say, some have child soldiers.
Yeah.
This isn't a factual podcast. Well, technically
Ours do theater.
So far.
Yeah.
So how did theater, I assume it helped translate well to being on stage with stage presence and stuff like that. Because I think the biggest thing for people for stand-up is starting.
Sure.
Is probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
And then after that, right away is getting laughs. Right after getting on stage is the harder part.
Yeah. And then it just never gets easier. You're just perpetually.
See, I've heard it gets easier.
It does. Like you
it's
get
the only
better at
career
it.
That gets easier.
But I feel like it's just a nonstop uphill climb for forever.
Yeah, you're like Sisyphus.
Hannah Montana. Yeah, it's not the climb, it's the
you say
climb.
Hannah Montana, I'm like Sisyphus.
Living in very different realities. Yeah.
I also don't really know who Sisyphus is. I'm just trying to be smart.
You're just spewing off random long names. That's not pretentious at all, Mark.
That's not an STD. Shit. But yeah, it kind of is just like you're around. Like even like Tom Segura right now, like he's doing like over 200 shows in a year, and he's like, "This sucks. This sucks." The money's nice, I bet, though. Tom, how long have you been doing stand-up?
4 years, but I've taken so many breaks where I thought I wanted to quit comedy that I don't even know if it's 4. So okay. So I was never like a public thing where I was like publicly I quit comedy. It was just like I got so mentally ill. I was like I can't do anymore. And then like 6 months or a year would go by, and then I'd be like, fuck, I want to do comedy again. At this point, I've quit comedy so many times, and I've come back every time that I know I've quitting comedy.
Okay.
Because I've quit it enough times to know that it's what I want to do.
Nice. Okay.
Like Michael Jordan.
Exactly. Yes.
Like you want to do is it the goal to do it for forever, like career-wise? Like you want to do it full time?
My goal is to I want to write original musicals first and foremost.
Oh, okay.
But I also want to do stand-up.
Nice, dude.
Yes.
I could totally see that.
Yes.
So you've been doing 4 years. Is that how many times would you take off? Do you think is it did you take off the whole pandemic? Were you doing Zoom?
I did a couple shows during the pandemic, but I was mostly off for that whole year. There's a few Zoom shows here and there, and then I was kind of inconsistent for a while, and then I don't know. It would go in waves where like there'd be like 6 months, like even like in the years before that, 6 months where I'd be going super hard, and then I'd go into a deep depression, and I'd just be hiding in my room or in the woods by the river. I used to live by the Hudson River. For that would just go. It was just like I was in this constant cycle of hiding in the woods by the river or doing stand up.
Hiding by the wood in the woods by the river actually sounds kind of nice.
Yeah.
To be honest, it sounds kind of romantic.
Not that specific part, because there's like a sewage plant there.
Oh.
So it just always smelled terrible.
Yeah, dude, the water's everywhere. They're just putting their shit into the water.
Yeah.
We're just flushing into the river.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I don't mind that.
Dan
So,
said he was doing Zoom comedy.
dude, I couldn't imagine. I've taken one Zoom call my entire life. Dude, Zoom comedy, suck my dick.
It's terrible.
Nah.
He was doing it, and he was bombing so hard. He said it was in the metaverse, and he
Oh
said
my
it
god,
was like,
he was doing the VR open mics.
he was like
Dude,
a
we would
headset. I think
fucking crush, dude. We'd be so confident.
he said that he was bombing so hard that the kids were like making fun of him or telling him.
Dude,
I
imagine
think they
getting made
told him.
fun of. You could heckle. It's anonymous. They're gonna say whatever they want.
I don't see exactly what he said, but he said
Anonymity
that
gives
he-
people courage they
Yeah.
could never have in the real world.
Yeah, I've seen like people do like a VR open mic. He was like, I was so nervous. I'm like, doesn't count. Doesn't even get close to counting.
No.
Dude, your VR is of a woman. It's just
Even have pants on.
you're a dragon right now. How can you not
If
be
you can be a
confident?
mythical beast, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
He said he was bombing so hard, children were telling him that he sucked. So he panicked and did some of my one-liners, and they laughed. I was like,
He's just like, my name's Dylan Mahler. They're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
he said
Rhymes with million.
he was using his girlfriends or whatever
Cousins.
and he had a girl avatar. So he'd be like,
Well-
"What's up, girl?" And then she'd be like, "You're wearing a girl avatar, right?"
Well, Dan, the VR probably thought he was a woman because I posted a picture of Dan and my mom went, "Who's that girl?"
Dan is a wee
Wow.
bit
And
androgynous.
I was like, "Oh my god, oh, that's so
God.
perfect." 'cause
Oh,
we
we
call
did.
him a
It
lesbian.
never
Yeah.
stops.
We call him a lesbian.
yeah.
Everyone that
He's
roasts him.
transitioning.
Good for him.
I can't
Living
tell-
his best life.
I can't tell which way though.
Yeah.
He looks like he's transitioning both ways.
Right at the
Right in
same
the middle.
If
time.
anybody's roasting him, that would be a good roast for him.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
But also a compliment because he's a pretty woman.
He is.
When he has his blowjob lipstick on.
I would
Yeah.
love to do a roast with Dan. That's like,
Do it.
honestly,
You guys could easily do
I
it.
think we would be perfect for each other.
You guys
Dan
are
and Dan.
romantically and roastingly perfect for each other. Do
Winner
it.
keeps the name.
Because we'll have all the jerks. Oh, yeah, keeps the name.
Yeah.
Other one just gets fucking loser. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of who would win between you and Dan. Damn.
It could go either way.
I don't know, because I think you could win over the crowd with him looking like a bitch material, you know?
I
Like he
that
could
we're
feed
both
King
kinda
Kong and his
goofy,
kids with
though.
those tits.
He really could.
You know?
Yeah.
Easy, dude.
Triple D
You
or
have all the
something.
jerks fucking roasting each other, dude.
Yeah.
Me and Dylan are going to do one.
We're
Nice.
supposed
Except
to.
we look-
We're supposed
Right, because you
to.
both beat
That'd be
AJ.
really
We look
adorable.
identical. Well, of course we beat. Of course we beat AJ. Of course we did.
AJ.
Everyone beats
The
AJ.
biggest- He's lost 4
who's
times.
Like, oh, sorry, I forgot I had a show at Zany's tonight.
Sure,
Oh,
you
I
did,
can't
AJ.
wait to be at your fucking position, you know, where I just, another show at Zany's.
I have
Oh,
so
they
many
come and
shows I
they go.
forgot.
Yeah. Fucker.
Good for AJ.
Yes.
He's doing more shows than I am open mics. Jesus Christ, what a cunt. He's in the hospital right now. That's why he's not here.
Oh, really?
No, he has a show at Zane. He's fucking
Oh,
loser.
I was like, man,
Who gets
I'm
paid for comedy?
good for AJ.
No, yeah, that is
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's exciting.
So how did like the beginning of your stand-up go? Like in the, because either some people are like good in the beginning because of their excitement and nervousness, or terrible. Mine was pretty bad in the beginning.
Oh, I think I was bad.
Okay.
I think it was bad. And like I did a couple mics in Austin, and then I moved to New York to do my friend's show. So basically all of like me starting in comedy was just in New York, which is
Whoa.
not how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to like do comedy literally anywhere else, and then after you're better, move to New York. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
be brand new and doing it in New York. So it was fucking
Yeah.
brutal for years.
How many like spots were you doing? Were you doing like the typical New York comedian? To me, a typical New York comedian does it like 3 times a night. That's
Yeah.
in my mind what
Yeah.
they do.
There would be like nights where it'd just be like, I'm gonna do this show, then walk over here, do this show. It's like, yeah.
That's so nice. They kind of have that in Chicago a little bit.
Not
You
yeah,
gotta
it's
really
not
bust
not
it.
as
That
much
was
for
just
sure. Yeah.
But you
I'm
can
just
hit
gonna
like
stay here tonight.
because they have the late night shows, so you could do like a 7, a 9, 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You could do a few.
yeah, how
In the
many have you?
city.
What's the most you've hit in a day?
Probably only like 3 or 4. I don't know.
4 is a lot.
Dude, yeah, 4 is like 2. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
It's hard to give a shit with open mics. Do we get third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like I max out at a certain point with the
very
level of
exhausting.
effort I can give, especially if I've been like traveling all over Kingdom Come.
Do you think like when you said you like went into like the mental health thing to stop doing stand up, do you think it was like the stand up having to do with it? Like, do you think like any part of it?
I think it was a lot of things. One of it was like me and my own internal world not being balanced, and then the
Right.
other part of it was just comedy is brutal. And New York is brutal if you're not doing comedy, but it was like New York and comedy and all my mental health issues and then a million other things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see. Well, because like when I go to Chicago, it's still kind of scary for some reason to do it there. But I could, dude, if I went to New York, I'd be like, oh my fucking
Yeah, and imagine you're there and you're terrible. Like, and you're just competing against like all these people who are awesome, and that's
Dude,
just
yeah,
your
if I
life.
got any laughs, I would feel like I'm starting over if I went to New York. I would feel like I'd just begun.
Yeah.
Even though that wouldn't be the case, I would feel that way though.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I wonder how quickly I would catch up just being surrounded by those funny people.
You
'Cause
definitely
we
have
such
to
a lack of funny here, you know?
you definitely have to level up faster, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it would push you, and especially if they're all doing it. It's like if they're doing 3 mics a night, you just tag along and walk with them.
Yeah.
Let's all move to
That's
New York,
true.
dude. Fuck this place.
Yeah,
So
but
cheap.
like when you go to Chicago
Metaverse.
mics, like I feel like a lot of times, especially the later mics, are just comedians and no one's paying attention.
Just late night drunk comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's loud in the place, and then you just have a microphone, and that's really all that's separating
It's
anything.
hard to like value that where nobody's paying attention,
Right.
Because it's like, is this rep, like, will this help me in the long run, or is this a
Yeah.
waste of my time?
Yep.
But I
Exactly.
think it will probably help because bad rooms make good comics.
Sure.
So the more you go with it, but if they're just all talking and you're just like talking to a wall,
Yeah.
you know, Trace
Do that
Jenkins
at
talks
home.
to his wall to prepare it. He sucks.
Christ.
I remember one of my worst sets ever. It was in St. Charles because I am from St. Charles, so I heard they were doing an open
St.
mic.
Charles Pride.
But it was like upstairs, and it was this long room. It's like narrow, you know. Whenever it's a narrow room, you know,
Where
it's
you
not
can
You
see
know it's not
everybody
going to be
without
good.
turning
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah.
One of those really skinny bars.
right.
Never
I
a
don't
good
like
time.
Bars in the back, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
all the chatter in the bar and
Sure.
shit.
I don't like when I can see everybody without
that.
moving my head.
One of those
Yeah.
shows where
'Cause I
you
have to
know there's
fake-
so many people packed in there, and it's definitely a violation of fire codes. Like that kind of show.
And yeah, and there's like couches on the side, so if people want to pay attention, they have to like fucking
Crane their neck, yeah.
And I remember at one point in my set, I actually asked the crowd, I was like, "Hey, is anyone paying attention?"
And that's when they
nobody.
They all just go no. And then-
No one said anything. I was like,
Good.
"Cool, all right." So then I just like kind of put the fucking microphone down, and I just left. And I don't know how long the microphone was just sitting there
the rest
before
of the
someone
night.
noticed.
Till the next mic.
Yeah. A week later.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
what
I was
happens
so
with like
pissed.
mixed art mics. Like when they start off with music and then a comic comes on,
Ugh.
people are just talking and they don't
Mm-hmm.
give a fuck. It's super hard to get their attention, dude. I
The
feel like at
worst
the
is
beginning-
like
Oh,
a bunch of good comics go, then one fucking terrible poet goes up,
Mm.
wrecks the room, and then you gotta go. And it's like it's like the worst type of slam
I've only
poetry.
seen a couple.
about suicide.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
always
Or,
about them being touched. It's sexually
or
driven.
there's something about an ocean.
It has to involve the ocean.
The poem is called "Oceans of Tears in the Eyes of a Dolphin"
Being
or
molested
something.
was like being like drowning in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is funny. Can't wait for the next guy to go up. I feel like at the Red Room, that's where you would see that. Just the bitch
I always
talking
wanted
about.
to be like the comic after that and just be like, that girl wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, that's probably what I would say.
The girl who has like tears coming out of her eyes.
I'm like, wasn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's a good open mic, Khalil. I haven't been to the Red Room in a while, but yeah,
I think last summer was the last time I was there.
I feel like open mic, like it should have all comedy, or just have it be a different type of open mic. Because like the audience can't be mixed. So people are either gonna hate the other stuff that isn't comedy, or they're gonna hate the comedy because they're there for something else.
I also
think
just
the
kind of like the
music's fun.
chaos.
You like it?
There's chaos to a mixed arts mic.
That's true.
See, I've never like. What do you mean? Like where they're all just like where they're all not shut the fuck up, and you're like, hey.
Well, it's like if there's a bunch of different types of art forms and they all kind of interface with the mic a little bit differently, you just get a chaos bomb, and it's kind of fun sometimes. Sometimes.
People are still tearing down their instrument setups,
Yeah.
and you're like, do I stand on stage? Is
Do
this
I
my
not?
time?
There's the guy who's taken like an hour to set up his amp.
Uh-huh. It's gonna be great.
Dude, the Vixen, a guy would just for his 10-minute set just play the same 3 chords on his bass for 10 minutes. I'm like, you could do this at home. There's no
reason for you to be doing this in
What
public.
are you getting out of this? Like,
Yeah.
who's this for?
It's not for.
It's like edging.
Yeah.
Who's this for?
I played
Yeah.
bass.
Clearly not for anyone in the crowd, bro. It's
No,
all
dude.
for you.
I hate that fucking guy.
I played bass. My favorite part was that no one could hear it.
You actually look like you played bass.
I did.
I have to learn the
But they
bass
just be like-
very soon.
You have to learn the
kind?
bass soon.
Because my friend, he wrote an original musical, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Dana, the character I wrote for you plays the bass, so you better start learning it." And I'm like, "Great." So that's
you weren't like,
Really
can you just do a
threw you under the
soundtrack of the
bus.
thing and I'll pretend?
no,
Well, you
because the
play
whole
guitar.
story is like structured around like 5 musicians, and he was like, "Yeah, so you have to
Wow.
learn another instrument." I'm like, "Great, I
You're
love
just like, I
that
could
for
do
my
that.
life."
Dude, I
Like
could do it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
A creative human endeavor, easy. I could
I'm
do
like,
that.
"Sure, add that to the list of stuff I'm trying to figure out."
You play guitar though, so bass probably isn't that much.
It's like tuned the same, right?
Yeah, similar-ish,
It's close enough.
close enough. I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. Like, I got a guitar once and then returned it. Didn't even open it out of the box.
Damn.
I didn't want to learn.
Gave
I don't know
up
what.
on yourself right away.
Yeah, I don't know. Even as a kid, I was like, I know I'm not going to put the time in for this. You know?
Sure.
That's funny.
Like I no matter what it is, because I have like a
Clarinet.
super like I can use my OCD to my advantage. If I decide to obsess about anything, I can do it.
Right.
It's just like I have to decide to, and then I'll turn into like Psycho Robot, and I can learn it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
scary,
super
right?
obsessive.
What?
That's scary because I feel the same way, but then I'm like,
Do you
all
have
right,
the Psycho Robot thing?
yeah. But if I set my sights on the wrong thing, then
Oh,
I'm
it's
bad.
destructive. It's
Yeah.
so destructive.
Like what? What's a give me an example?
It just even like comedy, it's just like I hyper focus on comedy and then neglect everything else in
Yep.
my life.
Oh, the
So,
balance is the
yeah, we'll
problem.
see what happens.
But maybe that is the correct amount of balance.
Yeah.
You know, there's
I
no
feel
like
like-
right way.
I hate
Do you-
balancing.
Do you ever like
Yeah.
get so focused that it's like laundry, grocery shopping, everything else like just won't happen for weeks, and then you're just like starving in your house because you won't go to the store?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a mental health thing. I think that's
But it's just kind of like honestly, like it pains me to break my
Focus. Yes.
to-
Yes.
to
I'm like,
do
I don't
some
want to go 5
chore.
minutes down the street to 7-Eleven to get a snack because then I'd have to stop doing what I'm doing.
But like yesterday, I worked so hard on that reel for like, I just felt like sick afterwards because I had watched it so many times and made so many adjustments, and it's not even very good. Like the reel is cool, but the joke really isn't. And then it's like it hurt to like look at my phone after. I'm just like, that was too far.
how much
So,
time you spent. You mean like
Yeah, like I don't know. I just
you gotta
probably
work,
watched it like
work
hundreds.
smart instead of hard. Just
Yeah.
because there's no such thing as perfection. You're probably like overdoing it with the editing and stuff. Only you would notice. Where the viewer.
It's like when it's only like 6 seconds, then I think in terms of perfection still. But that is
Damn.
true. That is what it is.
Yeah, dude. See, I don't give a fuck. I
Uh-huh.
just take the clip and post it. Like you put in a lot of effort though. But I mean, you know, dude, my fucking last TikTok got like 12 views, dude. The one you made for me.
12. Yes.
I was like, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Nice.
I'm glad the 90 Day Fiance stuff is the only thing that works in here too.
Uh-huh.
No, that's good. I'm gonna kill myself. If I'm talking about 90 Day Fiance when I'm 35, I'll end my life.
It's all
I'm
right,
saying
bro.
it here, I will kill
You gave
myself.
him a taste.
I'm gonna hold him to that actually, and then I'm gonna come over with the noose and
because I don't know how to tie one. Okay. And I wouldn't put in the time to learn. It'd be like the guitar.
sure.
Like, I
90
wanna
days.
die.
I'll come over with all the equipment you need.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, help you along the way.
You have 90 days.
To end my life.
Yeah. You have to
Or
have
from
a
the point I
Netflix
turned
deal
35.
in 90 days. Good luck.
Dude, could I get a Netflix deal in 8 years? I could be on Netflix in 8 years. Dude, we could all get a fucking little special.
Do
in
we
8
have a
years.
Make-A-Wish guy?
If I get cancer, yeah. Dude. I think I outaged the Make a Wish though.
No, but
At
you
this
have
point,
a
they'd be like, "Go fuck yourself."
condition where you age very fast for your age.
I'm 18. That's why, but I look like this.
You're 8.
You're 18.
No, you believe that?
I've seen some
Nice.
weird things in my
Some people have
life.
thought I was 40. Like in the YouTube comments, they'll try and like talk shit. They're like, "Dude, you look 40." I'm like, "Not even 30," and I'm gonna look like this at 40. By the
Oh,
way, so
yeah.
thank you. I'm gonna look exactly the same.
You would have had to get all of your tattoos like within a year if you were 18.
Yeah,
Which is-
you would have been doing a lot in a year.
Reminds me, I'm getting a face tattoo.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna get 3 dots and a triangle, which is like a Mexican gang thing, but I still want it. You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Willing to die over.
If anyone can pull it off, you can.
Thank you. My mom is gonna be pissed. She's gonna be so. She hates tattoos a lot.
What you
I
resist
never want to
persists,
stop
clearly.
you.
Yeah, she.
I'm pretty sure if your mother didn't hate tattoos as much as she did, you wouldn't have so many.
It's an act of rebellion.
Ooh.
It's
You'd
written
be
all over it.
surprised. Dude, I don't know. I could not care less. Because to me, whatever she thinks is wrong most of the time.
Sure,
Do you
sure.
have a mom-related tattoo or no?
She's not dead yet.
Gotcha.
So when she dies, I have one.
I do the
sure.
same thing though with my mother, where I just take it for granted that anything she says, I'll do the opposite.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know better than you.
You know, you should get a rest in peace mom before she dies.
Nice. So she knows that's what you would have
Then
wanted.
the police would be like,
Ah!
this just putting Visine in his mom's water for sure.
Yeah.
He's trying to kill this bitch.
I saw this post. It was like a guy's Google searches before he allegedly killed his wife.
Christ.
And it was like, I'm trying to remember what the one
Searches
was
are like most effective ways to kill your spouse.
Dude, they
It was
all
like-
do that. I watch so many police interrogations. They all are like,
Really?
how to get rid of a body. I'm like, are you fucking
Yeah.
stupid, dude?
How
They're
to
like messaging
preserve
the
a
friends. They're
body.
like, dude, I killed somebody. And they delete it. I'm like, they can fucking look at your message.
Uh-huh.
They're calling people. I'm like, you guys are fucking retarded.
It's like, can you
That
throw out a
can't kill a
body?
family member, first of all. You can't. You have to kill a random person that you don't know.
They'll automatically,
randomly.
they'll immediately, suspect people that are close to them.
Yeah.
Kill randos.
Like, if your wife dies, it was you.
yeah.
What kind of
Until proven
psychopath-
otherwise. Yeah.
What kind of psychopath kills a random person?
Well,
Right.
there's
Someone who
thrill
really wants
killers.
to kill
I feel like
someone.
Dylan has definitely
Yeah, I think
buried
that's why you're
people
saying this, because
places.
you've done it. You're like, what those fucking
Like, I
losers.
feel like
feeling.
Dylan has multiple corpses rotting in his basement.
I could. You
I
couldn't
know
see
what
yourself
it
being a
means.
little.
basement.
Yeah.
They're in the attic.
Since you're excessive, you couldn't see yourself being like a thrill killer. Like, oh, dude.
If I made it my goal, then I would do it.
He would hyper
That's how
focus on
scary
that.
it
Let's
is to
do
have a
it.
goal.
That psycho
Let's
robot
fucking change
coming
it.
out.
I don't want to be a killer.
I'm really glad that you've
Don't tempt
decided
me.
to be a good person, because if you decided otherwise, I would be scared for my life.
No, yeah, that's what I got to do. I
You
got to
can
be
fuck
a
up most
saint.
people.
Yeah.
I need to focus on being a saint. So
How do you
Dylan
do
wants
that?
to be a priest.
What are the steps?
Priest
I
and
wanna-
saint
I
aren't the
have
same
to-
things.
I have to do the
Yeah.
opposite. I have to bring people back from
The dead?
Yeah, so maybe they're not my rotting corpses.
Maybe there's someone
as
else's
they
rotting
say.
corpse.
Yeah, I'm not saying there
Whose
are
rotting
any.
corpses are you bringing back?
I'm not saying that
Yeah,
they
who?
belong to anybody.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's
I would bring back Hitler.
I'm not saying I'm not going to bring him back. In one way or another, I'll put him back. I'll put
Sure.
him back.
Would you just have like a whole army of corpses you've brought back just to do your bidding?
Yeah, and I would. I'd
Just
give
have
him
them write
like
jokes
a,
for him.
Yeah.
He just does more stand up in front of them.
Right. Doing open mics with his animated corpses.
It is a tough crowd. Honestly,
They won't laugh at any of your material.
no, they're not my audience. But
Hey,
yeah,
Dan.
I
No,
try.
you could just deep fake your face onto all their faces, and you're just laughing.
and then I
at
could
your
have
own
like
jokes.
different bodies, different body types for variation.
But they're all you.
Uh-huh.
You're like Eddie Murphy.
Uh-huh. It's really interesting, Dylan. I feel like we're
Raw.
learning a lot about you.
Yeah, what are we talking about right now? What's
Dylan's
like,
animated corpses that he does
Oh.
stand up to.
Yeah, I feel like
I was thinking about doing
just
that with
talking
plants.
hypothetically.
Yeah.
Like doing that, using that app where you can like put your face on things. but
Sure.
It's just like on a plant, and it's like,
That'd be so fucking scary, Danny. That sounds
Danny
like a
sure
Japanese
knows a lot
horror
about
film.
this.
It really
try it.
does.
I should try
The
it.
face just appears and kills people, dude.
Danny already
Faces
has
are
this.
scary. Like big faces. Like I saw a Japanese thing of like a big floating white face, and I was like, that's fucking frightening.
Yeah, terrifying.
What are you scared of, Dylan? Do you have any
I'm
fears?
scared
Irrational?
of killing.
Because
Scared of allowing myself to kill.
Uh-huh.
well, he has the fucking ability, dude. He fucking could.
I'm the same way. I'm scared of my own capacity for violence.
That's
Like-
the craziest thing. I've never heard that from a woman in my entire life. Oh my god.
Like I like purposefully like
This is a guy she sentence.
I don't let myself watch violent things
What?
because I'm
The
serious.
patterns.
Like I literally like I'm like really careful about like not
Does it
letting.
influence you to
I,
act
yeah,
that
I
way?
don't want to like feed that part of myself.
Huh.
It's like a
when
game.
have you been violent in the past? Getting into some fights? What's going on? What's the history? I did not take you for a violent person, but you never know. Comedy.
Good. I'm
So you
so
don't
glad.
say-
Literally, I'm so glad.
At all.
It's that's been very conscious.
I can see
that
like beating
uphill
the shit out of
battle.
somebody with
Yeah.
like a musical like guitar case or something. It's
yeah.
like a flute.
Like I don't know if I've been like gotten into a lot of fights so much as like when I was younger I had a lot of homicidal thoughts. And then they'll like
It sounds like yeah.
yeah, Dylan's like I
Right.
get it. And so like But it's like with anything, like you can feed, everyone's like this. You like choose which parts of yourself you feed. And if you feed the productive parts of yourself, they get stronger. And if you feed the bad parts of yourself, they get stronger.
Right, the bad lizard part. Right?
Yeah.
Where we have those impulses to just grab someone
And bash their brains in.
and we ignore those impulses and we
Like literally, I'll be at open mics and I'll get this intrusive thought in my head that's like, you should kick that person in the knees. And I'm like, don't.
Oh,
Like,
that always happens to me. Like I'm talking to if I talk to TJ or something, my constant thought is throw your drink in his fucking face.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
Yeah.
Do it. Just ruin your career.
Just when you're
you
talking
should
to
like
TJ.
kick that person in the balls really
he
hard.
pops in my mind to think of that because he's so nice and he has no reason for me to ever throw a drink in his face. But I think that with everybody. I'm like, just punch him.
No, you know,
Have you
even
thought
as a
about punching
kid,
me?
I had
Huh?
like.
Have you thought about punching me?
No. A woman I haven't, probably just like, if I had a
Well, now
drink
that
in
I
my
think
hand, then
about
I
it.
thought about throwing
You've thought
a
about
drink.
throwing in my face, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm always like, how bad could this go?
Yeah.
Yeah, like one time we were in a GameStop, me and my homie. I was like, dude, you want to just change our lives right now and we could just take off our pants and just go to jail forever. Change the trajectory of our lives. He's like, we totally could. We didn't.
I think if you
Cool.
threw a drink in my face, I think I would just be so perplexed.
I could see that response.
Like, I don't even think I'd be mad. I think I'd just be like, well, I didn't see that coming. That's kind of a curveball.
Adam C gets kicked out for falling asleep, and I throw drinks in
Yeah.
people's faces like it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
If it's Adam C, you
talk
could
this
get away
through.
with just about anything, honestly. Like,
Yes.
if you just walked up and, like, punched Adam C, everyone would be like, all right, Mel. Like,
Someone did, yeah. And Mojo's,
yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Well, he had told some lady that her
Pussy look like a Portillo's beef sandwich.
Nice.
like a melted something. Yeah.
I mean, Portillo's beef sandwiches are pretty good, but I understand.
Not in the context of vaginas.
So did she punch him?
I believe so.
Good for her, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
100%.
hitting her back. He
Did
seems
she,
like he would.
like hit him with her vagina lips.
Maybe later, but
Oh,
not.
do you have a sound effect?
So
for
Dylan,
that?
now I'm just more curious about the obsessive thinking. So have you always been this way, or is this like?
I think so. Yeah, like just looking back, like I would get super into like one thing at a time, and so it's like it's kind of weird because, like, I don't know, like I was into poker, like I played poker for a couple years. Where I don't know, it's just like I like the strategy element of it, but it's like I would be so into it. Like 1 month, like it was the most I ever spent, but it was like I spent like 200 hours at a casino while I was working full time still. So it's just I was playing all the time.
Now what?
But then it's like I don't even play at all.
Do you feel like unless
So
it
it's-
consumes you, it's not worth your time?
I just feel
Because
like
I feel like I get totally entrapped in like when it's a new hobby. Like I'm always moving on to a new hobby, and I get fully encased in the hobby, and that's all I think about or watch videos on until I find the next one.
yeah, it's pretty much like that. I feel like if I'm splitting my time, it just like I don't know, it gets so complex so quickly, like the right things to do, that I'm just like I don't know. That's why I don't like balancing things. I like just if I had one goal, become a stand-up comic, I think I would have that figured out like eventually. But if I want to pursue being a stand-up comic and be healthy and not
Yeah.
become homeless,
Yep.
all these other
Yep. Yeah.
complications, then I'm just like, it's a lot of distraction.
Yeah.
We're talking about balance, by the way. What does balance mean to you? Let's go with that. What does it mean to you guys?
To me, balance is like the middle ground. Like
You
people.
talking about like work-life balance?
Well, just like anything. People will be like 0 to 100 about anything. It's either this thing or it's this thing, and I'm like, all right, chill. Like there's like a middle spot. Because when
Okay.
I'm at either extreme of anything, usually I'm being really unhealthy in some way. And if I can find some kind of middle ground, I can usually perform a little bit higher because I'm not being unhealthy to myself in some way.
What are these things usually like? Is it like hobbies or just
It could
like
be anything. It could be like hobbies. It could be sexual pursuits. It could be responsibilities. It could be like literally anything. Eating
so, like,
habits.
It just
I
kind of
don't
takes
know.
over your life, and where you put other things aside, like you won't like do the laundry. You won't do other things because you have this other thing you're
Yes.
obsessed with.
I think it's about a balance between like the things you want to do and the things you need to do. right?
Yeah. To me,
Like-
I just do the things I need to do the most minimal amount
Yeah.
of need, and then the things I want to do, I will do vastly.
Like you reward yourself
To me, that's
way
the balance.
overboard.
Well,
that's
I've
the-
worked hard to be able to do whatever I want. You know, so I'm just like, The balance to me is just like I would rather. I mean, it's like working all the time is what I'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
But if you really want to like get something done, you really have to like hyper focus like that.
Yeah.
Because if you're just trying to, I'll do a little bit here, a little bit there, like shit just doesn't ever get done.
Yeah, like a lot of things I need to put my full attention to just to be able to do. But I don't know. I think balance, just like what do I really want out of this or whatever, and like what do I not want to neglect to try to get something.
Yeah, something that stands out is like obviously like working out, like with stand up, like that taking over everything. Because like a lot of people like I'll work during the day and right when I'm done I go to stand up and that's like till the end of the night.
Right.
So it's like hard to fit that in.
Well, like I don't know how to balance like musical stuff and comedy all the time. Like example, like I like either like yesterday or day before that, I started practicing guitar and I meant to like work on it and then write jokes. And I got so carried away playing guitar, I like looked up, I was like 4 hours had gone by and I was like, shit, there's no time left. I have to like go to this mic. And I didn't work on comedy because I got so like into this thing. And I struggle to like balance working on multiple things.
Yep.
Interesting. So you're just like in that flow state for like 4 hours, pretty much?
Like that I get so wrapped up and I'm having too much fun and then
do you
I
see that
neglect.
as a bad thing? Because like if you're enjoying the time being spent, isn't that time worthy of?
It's kind of like when you take a nap you were unexpecting. It's like I must have needed that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, did I need to play Blowing in the Wind for that many hours? I don't think so.
Over and over.
Over and over again? No, you know?
Or you just get to the end, I don't know, you just realize like something later, like, oh, if I'd been paying attention to this, like that would have been something I'd take care of earlier. But then because I was so hyper focused on comedy or whatever, I just ignore things. And then it's like, so what I want is to accomplish everything, but I'm just so focused on one thing.
Like what else would you? What else are you trying to focus on aside from comedy?
I don't know, like something I need to focus on. My dad at home knows I need to get a job soon because I haven't worked in like 6 months, and it's really in the back of my mind. But that's where it belongs, right?
I'm trying to find a job too, a day job, like either a librarian or a janitor, some kind of job that's like easy, so I can just live in my head all day. You know?
Yes,
Sure.
I want to live in my head.
Yeah, a job where you could just check out pretty much.
Yeah.
Where you don't have, you could like do other things while you're working.
Yeah.
Working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
So I need to get
that's-
on
Something
Mark
where you can
Norman
just
did that.
underperform the
He was
whole
a janitor.
day
He was a
and then
janitor.
just be in your head.
Yeah, just take that money.
I'm always a
can't wait.
mediocre employee.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Like not even bare minimum, like below bare minimum. Like in a job interview, if people are like, what kind of, are you going to give effort to this? I'm like, absolutely not.
oh,
What
I
do you
oversell
think?
myself in the job
See that
interview.
in
They
an
love
interview?
me.
Like who
not.
are you kidding? Like, no, you know?
Yeah, nah. Like I was so bad at jobs. Like me and some people, like we were just sitting, chilling, talking at Nordstrom Rack, and they all got like yelled at and talked to because we weren't doing anything but just sitting and talking. I did not get yelled at because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I'm always not working.
Yeah.
So you should expect me to not work.
Sure.
Yeah, Nordstrom Rack.
It's
was
like
cool.
at a certain point, if you have a reputation for a certain level of terribleness,
Yeah.
people aren't surprised when you're being that.
Yeah.
Like I always try to set the bar low, always.
Yeah.
So no one expects me to be anything astonishing. I always want people to think low of me, you know?
Yes.
Undersell and overperform.
Or just undersell and not perform at all. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of like I take advantage of like how I look young, you know? Like some people,
Yeah, I love
a lot
that.
of people just.
I love how young
Oh,
you
just
look.
some
You do,
stupid
yeah.
fucking kid, but then I'll like tip really well, or I'll I'll tell like a joke or something.
Danny,
or
this
like,
sounds like you're
I'll say
flexing.
something
All
really.
in your head.
This
You
is
know that,
just
right?
this is virtue signaling,
Who has said
Danny.
to you, this kid won't tip well? Somebody said that.
I feel like
some
I feel like
youngsters do.
people look
Right,
at
right.
me like, and they kind of.
Danny wants all his viewers out there to know that he
kind of
tips
like,
very
so
well.
Whatever,
Tips
it's just
to
a
spite
stupid.
that guy. You're like, fuck you, dude.
I always tip well because
No, I
I
love
like
it.
making people's day. You know,
Danny's
But-
form
you're
of
a good
like
person.
giving people the middle finger is just doing good deeds.
Yeah.
Right, like sticking it in their face and be
Right.
like, "Fuck you, you're an asshole.
Right.
And I'm a good
A guy's
guy."
beeping at you at Starbucks. You pay for his coffee. and you're like,
Exactly. An old
That's
lady's a
something you would
bitch to
do.
you and you like help her cross the street just
Yeah.
to show her who's boss. Yeah.
yeah, you are a good person. I would never. I would never do that.
I just feel compelled. Sometimes I don't even like being a good person. I just feel like I have to be. I'm like a superhero, you know,
People
like a
think
really
you look
bad
young.
one. Though. Like I
Yeah,
don't
what's
have
your superpowers? Just being nice because you feel like you have to.
No, there's
Growing
no
plants in your
superpower.
basement and doing stand up in front of
That's
them.
a superpower.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking
for
kid.
sure a superpower.
I just called you this fucking kid.
Well, he is. You're older than me. This is crazy.
How
dude.
old are you?
29.
Oh, okay.
How old are you, Danny?
I'm gonna be 31 in a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Damn.
Yep.
Time's running out, dude. You're getting old.
Yeah.
It's old as fuck.
Yeah. My hairline even is it's like uneven, you know. Like it's not that it's.
It seems like
This
it's a
is
little up. It
reading
seems
that
like it's a
much.
little
She's
up
a
there,
dick.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just some spots where it's like there should be hair right there.
Shave your head.
I don't.
Let's
I
have
don't
the
think that's a
third
good
bald
idea.
producer. No, you would look terrible with bald head.
Yeah.
You would not look good.
You pull the bald thing off, though.
you.
Actually, you do too. You both
would-
are cute.
You would look
Yeah.
like a mouse. Appreciate you. You'd look
Yeah,
like a mouse.
I'd
Like
have to
Ratatouille.
start wearing hats and shit.
Yeah.
Which I don't really.
Yeah, I don't
like
think
to
the
wear
bald thing would
hats.
work as well on you. But for some reason, on both of you, it's charming.
Yeah, my mom says because she like would always roll me on my head to make sure I had an even head, so it wouldn't. She's like, "That's because of me. It's because I didn't
Wow.
let it get pressed in. We let you lay down on one side the whole time. She's
Yeah,
like,
it
you're
is
welcome."
because of you, Mom.
I'm like, Mom,
She's like,
I
I knew you were
created
gonna be
myself.
bald someday.
I mean, probably. I mean, her dad. Everybody.
That's thinking ahead.
every
Your
man in
mom,
her family
He's
has
gonna be
the
a
toilet
bald
bowl.
fuck. He needs to have a nice round head.
Yeah. I had way more hair when I was a bit, like right when I was born. I had so much hair.
Really?
Well, I like that your mom was so proactive about making sure your head was the right shape.
Yeah. Is it fucked up that she returned my childhood dog to the store?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And how did that make you feel, Mark?
My therapist was trying to figure that out. And then I stopped seeing her. And we
After
never figured
how
it
I
out.
would
Lost.
hate to be your
After
therapist.
how long?
I feel
It's a good
like
time.
you'd be such a pain in the ass to give therapy to.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
probably.
I feel like I would just be like you'd be a terrible patient.
Yeah.
true.
Maybe.
I think
Yeah.
I feel
grow on
like
them.
you have a hard time being vulnerable. Do you have a hard time being vulnerable?
Yeah, to most people, I think to a therapist, except like I like talking about myself. and
That's
it's
different
their
than being
job.
vulnerable. That's different than being vulnerable, though.
So I think I could probably fake vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I could say vulnerable things like if I like pissed myself and I had to go on stage and be like, guys, this is piss. I didn't drop water. I peed myself. This is.
You could do that.
I could be more vulnerable. You know, if I could say something embarrassing and be vulnerable that way. But
Yeah,
like with a
that's
therapist,
very-
definitely. But I feel like most people, if you tell them like a vulnerable thing, they'll probably use it against you. You're showing your vulnerabilities.
Yeah, like Danny and his stupid hairline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have never said that.
Fucking
Yeah.
tie dye guy.
Loser.
What a nerd.
Fucking, what are you, 12 years old?
Yeah. What did you like write a book or something? You fucking loser.
Yeah, would you read a book?
While I was supposed to be teaching.
That's what I'm talking about. That's winning.
I have actually read
Never
Danny's
worked.
book, and I had like actually did help me grow as a person.
You read the whole
Wow.
thing?
yeah.
Uh huh.
What would you rate it out of 10? You can't use a 7.
It depends on what you're rating it for.
Just overall quality.
That wasn't a good face.
She's doing division right now.
I'm like I'm
Just
parsing it
how
up. In
about-
my,
what was the best thing about it?
Well,
The end.
my favorite part was this moment where I've talked with you about this. There's like this little kid who's painting rocks, and he like paints like rocks really fast, and he does it for a living. And he's like, I can't stop because this is how I like feed people is I like paint rocks. And the guy's like, bruh, if you like took more time for yourself and you like loved yourself, you could paint rocks that were prettier, higher quality, and they'd probably sell for more. And I read that and I was like, shit. I was like, I need to not overwork myself and I need to love myself more. And then I can probably generate more income because I'll have more bandwidth to do higher quality work. And I got
like
that out of
that.
Danny's book.
That's
yeah.
balance.
Was that from
High five. Yeah.
Was that from
You
like a
best
thing?
believe I internalized that.
That's awesome.
Was that
Thank
something that
you.
happened in your life that made you write that?
Actually,
was
it
it like a
was
projection?
a student I had that like he would just like he would
Yell
look down
every
all the
30
time. Like
seconds.
when he
Oh.
walked, he would just like look down. I remember telling him like, dude, you know the thing about the floor is it never changes. And he was like, yeah, that's what I like about it. And I was like, fuck, man.
You're like, that's a good answer. What if
He's
but it-
thought about this.
What if it's like, but it does sometimes. It does change sometimes. When I walk into this room, his carpet changed. Walk outside tile.
How stupid do you think I am?
Walk outside
It's not always
sidewalk.
the same, okay?
The floor isn't everywhere, Danny.
Okay.
I don't know, it just kind of hit me, you know? And so it just,
You're like, this retard's got a point.
well,
Yeah.
this kid is
Maybe
just
I
like
should look
so
at the floor.
focused on this one, you know.
That's why you don't
and
look
he's
up
not-
anymore.
Yeah.
He's not looking up.
This
and
one
he's not
fucking
loving
kid who's painting
himself.
rocks just changed Danny's life.
Why do you think it was just like low confidence, or do you think he was like, I really actually like how it's the same?
Super low confidence. Like really actually hated himself. Tried to kill himself at one point.
We've all tried to kill ourselves at some point or
I
another.
don't think I actually went all the way to the.
Nah.
I had the thoughts, but I didn't
Every
like
time I get
make
a refill
plan,
of Xanax,
you know?
I'm like, I could just take all of this right now. I could just end everything right now.
I think any pill that you hold in your, like when you have a bunch of pills, you're like, wow,
For
it's
long
that
enough,
easy,
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
I get
cool.
those thoughts from the void all the time where I'm like, what if you just, and then I'll be like, no.
Yeah, or
like,
like a railing,
yeah.
you know?
Yes.
Like heights.
If I'm by a balcony, I'll just
Ooh.
start getting
Yeah,
like,
like jump.
Yeah,
walk by cliffs.
Yes. All
Yeah,
the
I
time.
can't do it because my brain will be like, fucking fly.
Just do it.
Just do it.
It'll
We're
be
gonna-
fun on the way down, you know?
Come on,
It'll be
no
like
more income tax. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
I remember
No
I
more
was like
stress.
looking over my friend's like his balcony, and I was just like so depressed at the time. And then I was like, looked down. I was like, oh fuck, I want to live. No.
It's
But
such
yeah,
a shame, dude.
When you get to the point where you're so like you're still invested in living, even though you don't want to be, but you can't help it. You're like, fuck, I care now. There's like one or two people I like. I can't even kill myself if I wanted to. It's the
Right.
worst, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those good people in your life, they're real pains in the ass.
I'm like, oh, why do I gotta love someone?
In my mind, I was like, I couldn't think of one person I care about enough to consider my life for them. At all. It's all about me. Fuck them. If I want to take my
See,
life.
and that's why your life is dark enough that you're suicidal.
That's a good point.
You know.
I wish.
If
No.
you did, if you loved other people more, you might actually be happier.
Yeah, I hate most people.
Yeah. I have found that there's been like a direct correlation between how much I hate other people and how bad my mental health gets.
See,
when
I
I
like,
hate,
I like
'Cause
comedians.
it's like a
though.
mirror. Other
Yes,
people are like a mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
like
always-
when you don't like something in somebody else, it's probably something you do.
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah.
a projection most of the
I
time.
had an intense epiphany like a month and a half ago with someone that I like aggressively hated, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was like, I think I'm just seeing myself, and then it was like the light bulb went on, and I'm like, oh, my shadow side. Like,
Yeah, that's what I usually
You know?
start to think when I think of something. Like if I'm getting a vibe from somebody, I'm like, is this just a projection of what I'm thinking?
and then you're like, oh, that person's me. I love me.
yeah,
I love them.
yeah. Even with like people you like really, really vibe with, it's like there's something in them that's you, and that's what you're in love with.
Right.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. But like I don't
Which is
like
why-
civilian. Like I like comedians. I don't like civilians. Like I like comics most of the time, but I hate regular people.
Comics
Sure.
are just so much
You gotta
easier
find
to
it.
Talk to.
become friends with
Yeah.
because like we just understand each other.
And
more.
we're trauma bonding like every night.
Every
And
night.
comics will be straightforward about their bullshit.
Yeah.
And like every night, people are like, yeah, so I masturbate, I do this, I'm an alcohol. It's like people like, you know, it's
And they
just
get to the point faster.
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
They don't want to bomb when
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah.
Civilians have no idea that you're getting the light right
That's
now.
a
Yeah.
good point.
It's like
Yeah.
you didn't
Comics,
need
Have you noticed that they'll trim off the fat when they're telling you a story? It'll be more of a
Yes.
concise, intense story.
bullet points.
Don't want to bomb at the hang.
Yeah.
That's worse than bombing on stage.
It really
That's so
is.
funny because that's why I'm good at one-liners because their attention span for me is so low. Like other people, I see when they die and they stop listening,
Yeah.
or when they die and they don't want to hear me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood the word economy thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
And the word economy is huge, especially with you, because you probably go by syllables too.
Well, and I
Like
feel
you
like
chop it down based off of like how many, like by beats, because you used to make music too. I heard it's
Yeah.
similar, like with
did you rap or something?
Yeah, like I was thinking of like I need to work on my rap career still, but it's hard to balance with comedy.
well, you
But
could do
I
like a
think
rap comedy thing.
Yeah.
Kinda
Like Bo Burnham, old school Bo,
Yeah,
old timey Bo.
old timey Bo.
people like Bo Burnham.
I'm a
People
fan.
say listen to Bo Burnham. I don't really know him.
Me either.
I know of him.
My personal
I saw him
favorite
once.
is What out of all of his specials, because there's 4 of them.
What?
Fucking cunt.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it. Is that the guy who looks young but isn't?
He was
He
like
also-
the youngest person to have a Comedy Central present special or something.
Damn.
He was 18 or something like
Wow.
that. Maybe younger.
That's crazy.
I saw him live once, and like the first thing he said was like he looked at his shadow and was like jump, And he was like, oh, I thought it was a black guy.
Yeah, he started
Wow.
on YouTube like when YouTube was kind of becoming YouTube.
Like 2007-ish,
he was
yeah.
kind of like a Mount Rushmore of YouTube.
Nice. I like that. I think we're gonna have to start getting this fucking open mic started,
Sounds
guys.
good.
Should
Roll
we?
out.
Yo, thank you so much for coming on and everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Give all of your.
I feel like I
tags.
learned a lot about Dylan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Me too.
Plug your things.
Plug
Yeah.
things.
Plug everything.
I
Where
didn't
should they
kill
follow
anyone.
you? Where should
Yes.
all that?
My at Dana Norris Kicks Ass is where you should follow me. There's a TV show called Act of Faith that I'm one of the writers on, and I'm also in it, and it's going to be coming out in February. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
Righteous.
Thank you so much for coming on, Danny. Thank you so much for coming on, Dana. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening everywhere. This has been the Jerks Podcast, and we're gonna get this fucking open mic started. Mwah.
Come on.
Mwah.